Let's take a look at each one of your players, just kind of give a brief overview on what you expect from them. We'll start with your two seniors. We'll start with Elena Kip.
Well, Elena Kip was, of course, one of our top hitters last year and was a pitcher for us until her arm got hurt. But, now settling into that role at first base, knowing what's required of her, being able to be on that field every day, both defensively as well as offensively in the lineup, I expect her just to have another amazing season.
Then you got Kaitlin Hill, who sat out last year after shoulder surgery. She's back. Just talk a little bit about what you expect from her.
Well, Kaitlin worked so hard last year. I mean, after having the shoulder surgery in the fall, and just to see her angst, if you will, in the dugout of just wanting to be on that field. But I think she's a better player. I mean, she learned so much by observing and watching what went on, and I think that's helped her become a better leader. And then that leadership is one of the things that's helping a lot of our young players. So in addition to her talents, that leadership's a huge key.
Then we'll go to your junior class, randomly, Elena Kip.
Well, Elena's going to be our catcher whenever she can be our catcher. Obviously, Elena's had 2 knee surgeries, and she probably won't be able to be behind the plate every game. But, she really brings a calming factor behind the plate. She's very stable defensively, and my goodness, offensively, she's one of the strongest kids that we have on the team. She's just an absolute terror with the bat in her hands. I mean, she's tough to pitch to. So, we're looking forward to hopefully a better, healthier year out of her, and then one that we maybe manage better early in the season that allows her to be that great of a player at the end of the season.
You mentioned her earlier at third base, Hayley Winter.
Well, Hayley's defensively, there's not a better defensive third baseman in the country. I mean, she just can handle the hot corner. She can get in on bunts. She can throw runners out, across the diamond backhanded. She can dive and make a play in either direction. She just is so good defensively. And what's really been impressive for Hayley is her offensive improvement has been tremendous. I mean, that really was the area of weakness, and we challenged her with it at the end of last year, and the kid really has made it a point to become better offensively and not be a problem in the lineup, but to be an asset in the lineup.
And your outfielder, Janine Godwin.
Well, Janine's a great outfielder. I mean, maybe our best defensive outfielder. And then she brings a great left-handed bat that we can mix into the lineup. So defensively, she's rock solid. She's more of a hitter as opposed to a slapper like our other 2 outfielders. So sometimes they win the battle just because they're more of a speed threat in the game. But Janine's rock solid. She can go in defensively. And then if we ever get in a matchup situation where we need a left-handed hitter, she's the answer.
And then your last junior in this class is a newcomer, and that's Bianca Duran.
Well, Bianca is somebody I knew from my 2 years at Northern Colorado, and she's just – I watched her pitch there, and she's one of those kids. She's just a winner. B doesn't know how to do anything but win. She expects to win. She demands to win. So that mentality, and in addition to pitching, she's just a great hitter too. So you really get somebody who on both sides of the ball are able to give you what you want, and not only a offensive threat, a pitching threat, but then she's also a great leader. So she's going to take people behind her and make them want to accomplish everything that we set out to do as well.
You got a pretty talented sophomore class. We'll lead it off with Anna Cross. I mean, she was the WAC Freshman of the Year last year.
Yeah, and if they gave a Sophomore of the Year award, I'd expect her to win it this year. Anna is a tremendous pitcher. We rushed her along in that category a little more last year out of a need basis, but she's worked so hard in the summer to continue to develop as a pitcher. So she's going to throw lots of innings for us, probably more in a closer role. And then she'll give us tons of innings at shortstop. And she's got great power, and then for her size, she's also got great speed. So she's really close to being one of those what they call a 5-tool player. Anna's as close as they come.
Outfielder Kristen Miles, she saw a lot of playing time as a true freshman.
Yeah, 330-something average and on-base percentage beyond that. And what Kristen's done is where she was probably more bunts and soft slaps last year, now she can drive the ball past somebody. So if they play her tight, she can hard slap it and end up with a triple or even as fast as she is an inside-the-park home run.
Courtney Lowe.
Well, Courtney's our one true utility player. I mean, Courtney will probably this year, she'll start some at second base. She'll see some action at shortstop. She probably is Hayley Winter's backup at third. So she's a kid that utility-wise might play all, 3 infield positions. Her hitting is really coming along. Coach Murphy's really worked hard with her in terms of developing an offensive strategy that works for Courtney, and her power numbers have jumped through the roof because of it. So, I'm not sure her average goes up tons, but I think you'll see her power numbers go up just immensely. So it's exciting to see Courtney's growth. And again, she's another one of those kids that she wants it, so she works hard for it.
And then outfielder Caitlyn Cook.
Caitlin's a transfer from Northern Colorado. We recruited her to come in there, and after our departure, she decided she wanted to get a little warmer weather, so she came here. And Caitlin's just a fantastic defensive outfielder. Now, we're still working on her offensive capabilities that'll give her a chance to be in the lineup more often, but now she's probably still going to serve the role as a sub defender late in games, especially depending on who we have out there, what kind of arm strength we need out there. I mean, she's somebody that can go in and play the outfield role in the 6th or the 7th inning for us.
Then you have a couple of sophomores who are Division I transfers. Lindsay Nealon, who transferred from UCF. Lindsay was at Central Florida, but she's a Shreveport girl, right? She played at Evangel when they won like 3 state championships, and so she's used to winning. She has a desire to win, and I think she got down to Central Florida and discovered it wasn't Disney World 24 hours a day, and we just wanted to get back closer to home, and I think she's found a home here, and I think she absolutely loves her time, and she's working so hard. We probably are turning her more into a second baseman, and she'll certainly get some opportunities at second base to prove herself, and hopefully you can see her in the lineup every day because she has the capabilities to win that spot. And then from Stephen F. Austin, Lexi Callen.
Last year with Elena's situation and the knee problems that we had, and really she was the only catcher in the lineup, and we tried to catch, bless her heart, Courtney and Hayley at certain situations, but we needed to make sure that we had more catchers, and we already had a couple coming in that were previous coaches' recruits. Great kids, by the way, but previous coaches recruits, so I didn't know who we were getting. So to add Lexi was just a no-brainer. She was able to come in and give us that depth at that position, which is so required because you have somebody who needs to catch. And then what about in between innings if the catcher's putting on the gear? And then, oh my goodness, with our pitching rotation the way it's going to be, it's pretty important to have a good bullpen catcher. So we need 3 catchers pretty much on this roster no matter what. Lexi, she brings that to the table.
You've got a big freshman class, includes 6 kids. We'll start off with Tori Charters.
Tori played for the Canadian national team and is probably, if not the fastest player I've ever coached, she's certainly one of them. She gets down the line in arguably 2.6 seconds, and that's from contact. Tori's learning is the Division I level for her, and she's making an adjustment from center field to right field. So the ball comes off a little different. So she's had her frustrations this year, but that speed is just so much of an asset. And as she's getting the ball more and more times on the ground, because I tell her all the time, when she hits it in the air, she's as fast as me, which is not that fast. So she needs to keep the ball on the ground, and when she does that, I mean, she's just going to put tons of pressure on defenses, and I've never seen a kid get rid of a throw quicker. She may not have the most powerful arm, but man, her release time on a ball is it's crazy good.
And then, of course, you got a young lady from Alaska who I know you have high expectations for, Pauline Toothy.
Pauline, I went to watch a pitcher for another team, and Pauline hit the ball, and it went out of the men's slow pitch field. They have the temporary fence up for the girls that's 200 feet. The men's slow pitch field was 300 feet. She hit it over the men's slow pitch field. And I'm like, I don't even drive that far some days. So this is a kid we need to get to know. And we started recruiting her early, and we stayed on her. And, it was fortunate that when I moved to Louisiana that she was also willing to say, I'll come there to school too. And so what an excitement. She's not only a fantastic pitcher, in terms of her ability to pitch, and she's going to continue to grow because she's so big and strong as pitching that she engages more of her lower body. But she is just arguably one of the better hitters I've ever seen. She can just about hit any style of pitching, any type of pitcher, anytime, and that's exciting to have that kind of power because, Malcolm, she doesn't have to get it all to hit it out of the park.
Second baseman Taylor Penn.
Taylor's from Dallas. Again, she's also one of the previous coach's recruits, but I giving Coach Dawson credit for that. She brought in some really good kids, and Taylor's one of those, and she plays a utility type of defense. She could play multiple positions. For us, she's right now competing at second base. The learning curve to learn several defensive positions is hard, especially at the collegiate level. So she's settled in on first. She's given us more and more offensive production, and so what that spot at second base is going to come down to is who can win the spot by being consistent defensively and consistent offensively, and Taylor will be in that mix.
Another utility infielder, Kaitlin Williams.
Well, Kaitlin Williams was a kid that we had seen when I was at Northern Colorado from California, and she's just so smooth fielding the ball. We were hopeful that she would make a transition to second base a little bit better than she has. But again, it's that different angle. It's playing a different position, and she has learned it well. But with our need to move Anna to pitch, we have to have a quality shortstop backup, and that's probably going to be Kaitlin. Again, she just fields the ball so smoothly, and she can handle that. And then as she grows, then second base will become an option for a starting position later on. But right now, she's probably our number one backup at shortstop.
And then you mentioned the need for three catchers. Your third one, Natalie Moran.
Yeah, Natalie's another Cali girl, and she is very fluid back behind the plate. What she's learning to do is gain the speed of the game at this level. I mean, it got a little faster on her, but as she's adapting, man, she'll make some plays that'll really turn some heads. And it's just not as consistent as it needs to be, but when it all starts clicking, look out, because she'll be a threat back there. She's just that good.
And then you actually have a fourth catcher on the roster who's going to sit out this year, red shirt. That's Amanda Gray.
Right. Amanda's right now, again, she's sitting in that dugout with angst. She wants to be on that field. But even though she is probably going to be healthy enough to play this spring, she got no reps in the fall. She was totally rehabbing in the fall. So it's important that she has learned the system, and then next year she gets those reps to really, truly get a fair chance at competing for a position.
And that's a pretty thorough rundown of your Lady Techster personnel for this year. Just a reminder, Louisiana Tech will open the season at home February 7th through 9th when they host a 6-team tournament here in Ruston, Louisiana.